Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is Vlogmas Day 3, and we're gonna go ahead and try our third piece of Japanese candy today. Ooh, very shiny, very Goblincore. I imagine that this is just a chocolate gold coin, but we'll find out. And it totally is. I think it's probably just chocolate, but we'll find out. Just chocolate, but it's really good. It's not like that dollar store pirate coin chocolate that you usually get. It's actually really, really good. Yeah, so that was, the camera died, I had to go get the other one. Okay, so chocolate coin, delicious. I can't wait to see what is for tomorrow. Currently, while this is being posted, I should be at just the very end of my Tinseltown event on Saturday. So hopefully that's going well, but I wanted to be able to post this video while I was gone, so I am doing it first thing in the morning. It's supposed to be a really ugly, rainy day, and by ugly I mean beautiful, but you know what I mean. Like, I love the rain. Anyway, so I'm hoping that it goes well. We'll see. But today we are making a stocking, and not just any stocking, a mushroom stocking. I'm so excited for you guys to see the design. It will be in the comments below, hopefully. I've got some kind of printable for you to be able to do your own sewing pattern. This is hand stitched, hand embroidery, really low key. I am not a professional. I do it for fun. I thought it would be a neat thing to kind of hang up back here with all of our stuff, so we're gonna see how it turns out. So let's go. Okay guys, I'm really excited about this one. As you can see, this looks like a mushroom, but it's actually going to end up being a stocking. I went ahead and pre-cut some stuff out just to kind of hurry this along, but this kind of very simple pattern will be available in the comment section below, so if you want to make your own, you can. So the cool thing about this is that it is going to be a stocking in the shape of a mushroom. It is still going to have a place to put things, and now obviously this is going to be pretty small, but we like really tiny cute things on this channel anyway, so that works for us. But basically what I did was, this is one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which means both of these were also 8.5, or well, like, yeah, 8.5 by 11 sheets of felt. These are like the kind that you find at Walmart and Michael's and Hobby Lobby, but these are like the more natural looking fibers, I guess. You can do them any color that you would like. So what I did was take one sheet and fold it in half and then cut it out so that I get two of them. One's gonna be the back and one's gonna be the front. We are gonna hand embroider this front side, so it's gonna be really, really cute. And then I did the exact same thing for the top part. I did leave it intact up here. I couldn't do that on the stem just because of how the folds were, because you had to do this one long ways and this one horizontally. So I did keep the fold up here. I'll show you why I like to do that later, but just to start out with, you want to cut this, and obviously it's not perfect. We're gonna come back through and trim it up really good once it's together so that we don't get anything too lopsided. This is gonna be the cut where we are able to put stuff in the stocking, and it is going to be in the top part of the mushroom, and I'll show you what I mean. So once you get that cut out, because again, that is two pieces, a front and back, then you're gonna take some of your white felt. This is actually stuff I got here in Japan. It's pretty much the same texture. You could go with another color more close to this if you didn't want the stark white, but I kind of wanted to see what it would look like. So I cut out some random little organic shapes. We're also going to come back in later. After we stitch these down, we're gonna come back in later and do some little ball pieces of embroidery to add some more stuff to the top part of this also. I did not have a red. I couldn't find anything quite close to this, and I didn't want to do it in black. So this is going to be a little off, but I think maybe it will kind of add a little bit of dimension to it. I don't know. It's what I've got, so that's what's going to work for us. And then I also have the darker colored thread that is going to be the really nice definition embroidery in the stem. And then I got this lighter color too, just in case we decide to go in and maybe add some little highlights to that later. I think it will be really, really cute. So we're going to start off with the stem. I want to be able to get the pocket going, you know, after this is done. I don't know if that's going to make any sense, but anyway. So we're actually going to do most of the embroidery first. So we're just gonna need this first top sheet. I want to do the decorative bits first so that I can then just sew it up later and not have any issues doing that. So that's what we're gonna do now. All right, so we got some of the texture put in here, and I went ahead and started sewing around the edges. Unfortunately, I am out of this color. I kind of underestimated how much I needed. So I'm gonna go to the store a little bit later and see if I can get enough to finish that, and then maybe fill in this even some more, because I was being a little conservative with that. But I think we're gonna move on to, because I've got highlight that I'm still gonna do, but I wanna know where all my brown, my darker brown is first. So I think we're gonna go ahead and move on to the cap. So I'm gonna do basically the same thing where I stitched all of the embellishments first. That way I don't have to go up underneath the top part of this. But part of this stocking is actually going to get cut. So I need to mark where that's going to be first. So if you can see how this is kind of coming together, I'll zoom out a little. And once again, this shape is not permanent. I am going to come back and trim it, but this is exactly how it's going to look. Maybe a little bit more. Try and get it pretty even on both sides. And then you can see here is where that incision needs to be made. So I'm going to go ahead and start a cut there. All right, and then this is actually where the stocking is going to open up. You'll be able to see down in it once this is finished. And that's why I've left such a gap up here. First of all, I want to make sure that we get the pocket right, and I am going to use a little hot glue to secure things first, and then we'll continue stitching up whatever we need to when it's done. Okay, so next we're going to do some French knots. If you've never made those before, you're going to tie your end off just like you normally would so that it doesn't come through your piece. By the way, I'm not professional at this. I just kind of work my way through things sometimes, so I'm sorry if the directions aren't super clear. But you're going to come up through your work, you're going to wrap it around. I do it like 6 times because I want the knot to be really big. And then you're going to feed it back through like right next to where you came up. Pull through, and it's like a little textured knot instead of it being flat. And then on the back, I usually either go on to the next one or I quickly tie it off, and that's just another loop through, and there it is. And I'm just going to do a bunch of those in different sizes and different places, some right next to each other, some kind of spread apart, that sort of thing. There it is. I love how dainty the little French knots are. I could probably add some other colors if I decided to, maybe even some of this cream later. I love how just whimsical and magical all the little extra spots make it look, and I didn't have to hand stitch a whole bunch of little bitty things. So, well, I mean I did, but you know, not like hand stitch the felt to it. That's like tiny. Anyway, okay, so the next step for this is to close it off and trim it up a little bit, and then we will attach the two together, and then we've got a hoop to attach to the back side of it so that we can hang it. Now I'm going to hot glue these two pieces together. It's not going to take a whole bunch, and it's really not to make it you know, super strong or anything. I just want it held together while I have the opportunity to stitch everything, and that way I'm not having to sew this part and, you know, make it look a way I don't want it to, basically. So we're gonna hot glue it instead, and it should hold nice lightweight items anyway. I'm gonna fold it up and make sure that I only get this top flap for now, but we want those two to sit like this together. That's easy to see. So basically I'm going to Put them right next to each other. And then fold this down. And I don't want to press too hard because it will come up through the felt and you'll be able to see it. So we're just going to do a nice light run over top of it so that it adheres really well. Alright, and then when you open this pocket up, you'll be able to reach inside and put stuff in here. So the idea is that this now gets glued down, so that just this is what's opening. Alright, so we're gonna glue this down back here. Alright, make sure it still opens. Perfect. Alright, match this back down, and now we're going to glue this to the back side of this also. Now I'm sure we could have sewn all this, and I'm sure that that would still work for those of you who want to, but now there's an opening for this stocking. Once again, not very big, and really it is mostly for the aesthetic, but you should still be able to fit a few things in here. As a matter of fact, who doesn't like a Slim Jim for the holidays? Alright, anyway, so the next step is to finish all this off because I did decide to do this last. I also added a couple of the little red thread French knots because I wanted to see what it would look like against the red here, and I think it's going to be great. And then at some point I am going to have to go get more thread. I'm not sure I'll make it today, but then we'll have to finish the bottom off so nothing falls out the back end. And so that's about it. So I cut this back a little bit. It was straight across, if you remember, so that you could see some of the shape of the top of the mushroom. And I've been doing what I think is called a baseball stitch all the way around it because I decided that I liked the shape of it. It just needed to be worked on down here. So what's going to happen is when I start to get here, I'm just going to go like this is the top of the mushroom again, and then go back in the back and make that like it's the bottom of the mushroom so that it's got some definition between the two, but there is no flap, if that makes any sense. And yeah, it'll just kind of, you'll have to see what I mean, I guess. The thing about this is, you know, there's no pattern, there's no tutorial really for myself to follow. I kind of made this up on a whim. And I did look around to see if I could find anything like it, but not like this anyway, not handmade. I did find a couple of mushroom themed ones where it was a normal stocking, but like the, you know, the decor on it was mushrooms, which was really cute. And I definitely thought about purchasing something like that previously just to have for the channel and for myself for the shop. But I thought I would get a lot more mileage out of something I made myself, and then I could make it look exactly like I wanted it to, color scheme wise, or at least as close as I could. Plus I've had all this felt laying around for ages and didn't really know what to do with it because the original project I did required a lot less than I had thought. This is actually the same felt I made my craft show banner out of, just different pieces of it. So once we get here, and start going through, I want to grab some of that to come up. Just to help latch it to it a little bit. You don't want to go all the way through it though, because then that defeats the purpose of this pocket. And we don't want to do that, because then it won't be a stocking. Okay, and last but not least, I did go ahead and attach this. Like I said, it's not going to be able to carry like a whole bunch of weight or anything. It's really, really lightweight, and the felt itself is, you know, strong but not crazy. So as I wrap this up here, I just wanted to show you, I added these two little French knots, and that is basically what's holding it on here. And then I've also sewn it to the back in like a crisscross pattern underneath on the other side of this one. So it should hold pretty well. It will definitely hold candy and pencils and maybe a couple of like the smaller gashapons that will fit down in this little pocket. But for the most part, it's just for decoration. So, and I'm gonna tie it off here, and we are done with the cutest mushroom. Probably one of the coolest things I've ever made, if I'm honest, because I feel it's sincerely unique. I've never seen anything like it, and I haven't come across anything like it myself yet. But if anybody else has done something like this, I would love to see it. Definitely leave me a comment below what you think, and if anybody decides to try and make this for themselves, I would absolutely love to see it. It is unfinished technically down here, but I will show you guys an update later on if I get around to finding some thread of the same color. I think I bought this in New Mexico when I was there last, so I've got to see what kind of embroidery I can come across at the stores. I'm going to check our art department first. I think they might have some, but anyway. I really hope you guys like our little stocking, and I'm going to show you a clip of him all hanging up here in just a second. Okay, so it turned out so cute. I went ahead and did a little highlight here, but I will finish threading it off at some point as soon as I find some more of that same color. I absolutely love how it turned out. Here's the little pocket that we can put stuff in. I do have a couple things we're gonna make that I can stick down in there, and just, you know, to be able to show it off. And then I would just love to see if you guys want to make one too. So in the comments below, definitely let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you would tag me in any social media if you guys decide to make it. I would love to see your versions of it. But that's it for today, so come back tomorrow, day 4, for another craft. I'm not going to tell you what it is, so you can be surprised. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Everything is coming together. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.